Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, on this fabulous Friday, April the 14th, 2023. In this video, we are really concerned about the severe weather threat for Saturday. Very large hail, damaging winds, and yes, the threat for tornadoes does exist over the Midwest and even for the deep south. We'll break all those details coming right up. So here's a look at the very latest Day 2 categorical convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, and we have a level 3 out of 5 on the Severity Weather Index scale, all the way from central southern Missouri into central Arkansas into northern Louisiana. This is driven by the risk for a 5% chance of tornadoes. And of course, the wind risk is also enhanced at 30%. But guess what? What's really driving this to the full is going to be the 30% significant risk for large hail. Yeah, we could see hail the size of baseballs, maybe teacup size hail, all the way from, say, northern portion of Louisiana and Arkansas into central and southern Missouri for tomorrow. This is valid from Saturday morning through Sunday morning, April the 15th through the 16th. So you definitely need to make sure you have your weather radio on, because yes, you are under the enhanced risk for severe weather, even a slight risk all the way up here into, say, western portion there of, say, Illinois, and even stretching down across eastern Texas and central Louisiana and western Mississippi under a slight risk for severe weather, including for Memphis, Tennessee, and Springfield there in portion there of Illinois. So definitely elevated day for severe weather, but I am not saying that this will be a severe weather outbreak. Again, I want to stress this enough, that a severe weather outbreak usually includes a moderate risk for severe weather or greater, and in a big enough area, okay? So this is just an enhanced risk, just more of your typical severe weather event type kind of setup. Nothing too exceptional that would really scare me into saying that this would be an outbreak. Other than a few other YouTube channels out there might already call this an outbreak. I disagree with those weather YouTubers out there. So now, let's take a look at the setup that is going to be behind this severe weather event. I should just kind of say that more so. It's better for me to say that. So upper level winds here at 500 millibars, anywhere between about 35 to 45 knots. So not horribly strong by any means to start off your Saturday morning. So this is the beginning of the convective period for Saturday into Sunday. And winds not too terribly strong in the mid and upper levels, all right? You got this broadening trough that we have here. You can take note of the ISO lines here, the heights we call them, and that shows us where the trough actually is. And winds are coming out of the northwest here, rounding the base, coming out of the southwest here on the eastern side of that axis. So now let's take a look and let's go forward here on our model. And we can see here by Saturday afternoon, we do get a speed max that really gets going here. And this is when our severe weather really gets going, because we have a mid and upper level wind flow anywhere between 60 to 70 knots over spreading portions of the warm sector into central Missouri all the way into central Arkansas. And you could even make out where those line of storms actually are, as you can see right along the Barrow Clinic zone. That's that area that basically extends from eastern Texas into northwestern Louisiana into central Arkansas and Missouri, okay? And so definitely some wind energy that is going to be associated with this trough as this really amplifies, and it gets really strong all the way into Sunday morning. Look at this. This is negatively tilted with a very strong Barrow Clinic ascent zone located over portions there of Illinois and, say, portions there of, say, Indiana. But the good news is that there's a lot of drier air, or enough dry air that a lot of this is going to be mixed in. So we're going to have a conditional threat for severe weather for Sunday as this moves through. And you can see how it really kind of somewhat de-amplifies a little bit as it moves further east, but definitely some wind associated with this at over 76 knots for Sunday. So now let's take a look at instability, how much energy there is going to be for these thunderstorms. And as we go forward here, especially by Saturday afternoon, lots of energy, especially over Arkansas and southern Missouri. Convective available potential energy here, quite enormous, anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000 joules of per kilogram, which is strong to extreme instability. That's a lot of energy. If we get thunderstorms, which we will, they're going to be capable of producing very large hailstones, 2-3 inches in diameter, possibly some 65 plus mile an hour winds, and of course tornadoes, because we will have some shear, and along with that, the instability to compensate for the shear that is going to be ongoing. So yes, definitely this area has my concern for at least significant severe weather perimeters, especially from Arkansas into central and southern Missouri. So that's a look at your instability. That will kind of decrease with eastward extent as we go into Saturday night into Sunday morning. Dew points definitely going to be on the increase as that short wave gets closer and we get better dynamics setting up here. Dew points in the mid to upper 60s all the way from central and southern Missouri into Arkansas and northern Louisiana. Maybe a few isolated pockets of 70-degree dew points. So a lot of moisture out ahead of this cold front as it sets up here. You can see the delineation where that boundary is going to be with this wind advecting moisture northward with those 70 and 60-degree dew points. So a very moist atmosphere overall. So now let's take a look at the NAM. Let's time this out on who is going to get what. All right. First of all, messy convection, just kind of about here, elevated in nature somewhat for Saturday morning since we're going to have a decoupled atmosphere. But once daytime heating gets going, we're going to start seeing these thunderstorms really get going. Primarily from about, say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon onward into the evening hours, especially over western Missouri, Kansas. Yeah, you might see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, and then this continues to move further east. So by about 7 and 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time, look at that. Nice Boeing line segment here, a indication that's where we have the colder air behind it, and that this is where we have a lot of the Cape, that energy for these thunderstorms to use up. And so a nice good looking line here, a broken line inwards with maybe the threat for embedded tornadoes, very large hailstones perhaps in the early stages of this, and this will move further east with also a primary threat transitioning to damaging winds, 65 plus miles an hour all the way from St. Louis, Missouri into central and eastern Arkansas into northern Louisiana, right around about, say, 10 and 11 o'clock Central Time. And then, of course, for portions there of eastern Iowa, there we go, you have risk for showers and thunderstorms. Some of them could be locally severe, right along where we have that intersection of that cold front and that warm front that do meet. And then look at this, late season snow by early Sunday morning. Yeah, Sunday morning. Gonna get some spring snow showers over central and northern Iowa into Minneapolis. What the heck? This is April the 16th. I mean, it's ridiculous that you're seeing snow this late in the season, but it does occasionally happen, and then that could really cause problems. Maybe some freezing rain, sleet, and snow all the way across portions of the upper Midwest, more like, say, Iowa into, say, Wisconsin, and even for Minnesota. But yeah, that's a look at your severe weather. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, sharing, and liking the video. You guys are awesome. I totally love you guys with all of my will, all of my power, and everything like that. And unfortunately, I was not able to upload a video yesterday. You can blame Cal DSL for that. My internet was out thanks to a cut AT&T fiber optic line. So that's why I wasn't able to upload yesterday. You got to go with the flow with the internet, I guess, these days. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with another detailed weather forecast.